As the world gets more technical and everyone begins to carry electronics with them everywhere they go, it brings up a few concerns, such as, do cell phones cause cancer? In this presentation, we will explore the hard facts behind cell phones, how they work, and if it is possible to get cancer from normal usage. Cell phones do a lot for us. They are cameras, wake-up alarms, calculators, portable entertainment, and a way to stay connected to the world. But this leaves us wondering, how exactly does all of that work? And the answer is simpler than you might think. Imagine calling a friend on the other side of town. As you chat away, your phone converts your voice into an electronic signal, which is then transmitted as radio waves, converted back to sound by your friend's phone. A basic mobile phone is therefore a little more than a radio transmitter and a radio receiver, quite similar to a walkie-talkie or a CB radio. In order to remain portable, mobile phones need relatively compact antennas that use a small amount of power. This means mobile phones can only send or receive a signal over a very short range, just like a walkie-talkie. The cellular network, however, enables you to spread the latest gossip regardless of how far away your friends are. This is done by dividing the land up into a patchwork of cells, hexagonal areas of the land equipped with their own cell mast. These huge phone masts pick up weak signal from your phone and relay it outwards to another phone near you or your friend. If you're on the go as you talk, your phone switches masts so you can talk without interrupting your call. Now that we know how cell phones work, we can further examine the health concerns involved. There are three main reasons why people are concerned that cell phones might have the potential to cause certain types of cancer or other health problems. Cell phones emit radio frequency energy, a form of non-ionizing radiation. Tissues nearest to where the phone is held can absorb this energy. The number of cell phone users has increased rapidly. As of 2010, there were more than 303 million subscribers to cell phone service in the United States, according to Cellular Telecommunications and Internet Association. This is a nearly threefold increase from 110 million users in 2000. Globally, the number of cell phone subscriptions is estimated by the International Telecommunications Union to be over 5 billion. Over time, the number of cell phone calls per day, the length of each call, and the amount of time people use cell phones has increased. Cell phone technology has also undergone substantial changes, leading to a higher risk factor and more concern by the general public. Radio frequency energy is a form of electromagnetic radiation. Electromagnetic radiation can be categorized into two types: ionizing, such as X-rays, radon, and cosmic rays, and non-ionizing, such as radio frequency, extremely low frequency, or power frequency. Exposure to ionizing radiation is known to increase the risk of cancer. However, although many studies have examined the potential health effects of non-ionizing radiation from radar, microwave ovens, and other sources, there is currently no consistent evidence that non-ionizing radiation increases cancer risk. The only known biological effect of radio frequency energy is heating. The ability of a microwave oven to heat food is one example of this effect of radio frequency energy. Radio frequency exposure from cell phones does cause heating. However, it is not sufficient to measurably increase body temperature to cause any harm to the body. The amount of radio frequency energy absorbed from the phone into the user's body is known as a specific absorption rate, or the SAR. Different cell phones have different SAR levels. Cell phone makers are required to report the maximum SAR level of their product to the U.S. Federal Communications Commission, FCC. This information can often be found on the manufacturer's website or in the user's manual for the phone. The upper limit of the SAR allowed in the United States is 1.6 watts per kilogram of the user's body weight. But according to the FCC, comparing SAR values between phones can be misleading. The SAR value is based only on the phone operating at its highest power, not on what users would typically be exposed to with normal use of the phone. The actual SAR value varies based on a number of factors, so it is possible that a phone with a lower SAR value might actually expose a person to more radio frequency energy than one with a higher listed SAR value in some cases. As you can see, the legal limit for SAR value is 1.68 watts per kilogram, which is well below the 5.78 watts per kilogram, which would be harmful to the human body. And cell phones have a maximum SAR value of 1.60. Because cell phones are usually held near the head when being used, the main concern has been whether they might cause or contribute to tumors in this area, including malignant or cancerous brain tumors, non-cancerous tumors of the brain such as melanomas, and non-cancerous tumors of the nerve connecting the brain to the ear. A few studies have also looked at the possible links to other types of cancer such as skin cancer or testicular cancer. Researchers use two main types of studies to determine if something might cause cancer. Lab studies. Lab studies usually expose animals to something like radiofrequency energy to see if it causes tumors or other health problems. Researchers might also expose normal cells in a lab dish to radiofrequency energy to see if it causes any types of changes that are seen in a cancer cell. It is not always clear if the results from these types of studies will apply to humans, but lab studies allow researchers to carefully control for other factors that might affect the research and to answer some basic science questions. The second type of study are studies in people. Another type of study looks at cancer rates in different groups of people, such as a study might compare the cancer rate in a group exposed to cell phones to the rate in a group not exposed to cell phones, or compare it to what the expected cancer rate would be in a general population. But sometimes it can be hard to know what the results of these studies mean, because many other factors that might affect the results are hard to account for. In most cases, neither type of study provides enough evidence on its own to show if something causes cancer in people, so researchers usually look at both lab-based and human studies. As you can see in the graph presented, there are no positive correlations between cell phone usage and cancer outbreaks in the past 30 years. Several national and international agencies study different exposures and substances in the environment to determine if they can cause cancer. Something that causes cancer or helps cancer to grow is called a carcinogen. The American Cancer Society looks to these organizations to evaluate the risk based on evidence from laboratory and human-based studies. Based on the evidence available, some of these expert agencies have evaluated the cancer-causing potential of cell phones and radiofrequency waves. In general, they agreed that any evidence of a possible link is limited and more research is needed to look at for possible long-term effects. The International Agency for Research on Cancer is part of the World Health Organization. Its major goal is to identify causes of cancer. The International Agency for Research on Cancer has classified radiofrequency waves as possibly carcinogenic to humans, based on limited evidence of a possible increase in risk for brain tumors among cell phone users and inadequate evidence for other types of cancer. A few other health concerns have been raised about cell phone use. One has been whether radiofrequency waves from cell phones might interfere with medical devices such as a heart pacemaker. According to the FDA, cell phones should not pose a major risk for the vast majority of pacemaker wearers. Still, people with pacemakers may want to take some simple precautions to ensure that their cell phones don't cause a problem, such as not putting it in your shirt pocket or close to the pacemaker, and by using headphones to help keep the phone at a distance to minimize radiofrequency exposure. In conclusion, there is no solid evidence that cell phones cause any major risk of cancer or any other health issues at this time. We will continue to monitor and explore the possibility of cell phones causing harm to people. But at this time, please enjoy your phone responsibly, and thank you for watching.